And remember, those old school compulsion trainers, they don't want you to use a harness because they don't know how to communicate with a dog unless there's something around their neck. What type of collar should you use for your dog? Collar versus harness. This is a common question a lot of people ask. Are you still using a collar to walk your dog, or do you use a harness? Tell me below. Most modern dog trainers agree on the fact that the primary function of a dog's collar is to hold their ID tags. In modern dog training, harnesses are the go-to when it comes to keeping our dogs safe and under control when we take them out. Traditionally, dog trainers would use a collar around a dog's neck and a leash to provide corrections or to otherwise communicate, sometimes humanely, sometimes not. But my general feeling now is that we shouldn't be using the leash and the dog's neck to communicate because dogs are much smarter than this. They're very capable of taking more sophisticated direction and responding to more than just a pop on the leash. Many of you will already know this, but there are collars that are specifically designed to be unpleasant to dogs. We call those choke chains, prong collars, and shock collars. They're widely used in dog training. They're also highly controversial since they undermine the dog's intelligence and use discomfort and pain to communicate. And we see these collars getting banned by the day somewhere throughout the world. And the reason for this is there have been so many new emerging ways to teach dogs that don't rely on pain and discomfort. And remember, those old school compulsion trainers, they don't want you to use a harness because they don't know how to communicate with a dog unless there's something around their neck. Now, some people will say the opposition reflex is amplified when you put a harness on a dog, but even if that is true, that can happen with a collar or a harness. So if pulling is likely to occur, I don't want it happening around the dog's neck. That interferes with training, that causes frustration, and it's ideal to have your dog in the most positive mindset that we reasonably can have them in if we're hoping to make progress. No, harnesses do not cause your dog to pull. Your dog pulls for a variety of reasons, primarily because they haven't been taught how to do otherwise, and pulling and walking faster than you is a natural tendency of many dogs. Modern training really focuses on much more deeper, thoughtful communication with dogs and is far less tool focused than it once was. And if our dogs aren't acting as we hope that they are, whether you have a collar on them or a harness, it doesn't matter. We have to actually take the time to teach them and help them understand what it is we want. That's not to say I never have a leash on a dog's collar. My dog Inertia is very good on leash, so I'll occasionally walk her with a leash and collar for whatever reason because she's well trained and she doesn't pull me. So I'm not worried about that tension around her throat and those sensitive areas. And even among harnesses, some are better than others. My wife and I really like to use a Y-shaped harness because it doesn't put that unpleasant pressure on sensitive areas and gives dogs a full range of movement. This is a Y-shaped harness. You can see how it looks like a Y. See, we're really trying to avoid harnesses that block their shoulder blades right here, so that they have that optimal range of movement. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below.